This is the moment the siege began. A violent mob of Trump supporters swarming the entrance to the Capitol grounds. Overwhelming police officers, knocking barricades to the ground and surging towards the seat of American democracy. A Trump flag waving in the air. USA! They converged on the Capitol, scaling the scaffolding, surging ahead amid clouds of tear gas, taunting, screaming, swearing, hurtling themselves towards police, again quickly overpowering them, smashing windows, climbing inside, and flooding the hallways of the Capitol. A reporter from ITV in the thick of the melee.
What's the purpose of storming Congress itself?
Because they work for us. They don't get to steal it from us.
They broke into the office of the Speaker of the House, holding up the sign they had smashed. This man carrying off the Speaker's podium itself. And Richard Barnett of Arkansas putting his feet up on Nancy Pelosi's desk and then making off with an envelope with her letterhead.
I didn't steal it. I put a quarter on her desk, even though she ain't worth it.
For Congress members themselves, hours of sheer terror. Pelosi and Vice President Mike Pence whisked to safety. Lawmakers barricaded inside the chamber. Officers with guns drawn, trying to keep the rioters out. Members ultimately filing out, rushing down the stairs, some wearing gas masks over their heads to protect themselves, seeking shelter in their offices.
We heard them outside. We were concerned they were going to break down the door. And I picked up a baseball bat. That's all I had to protect myself in the event they broke into the office.
As the violence and looting continues, one of the women was shot dead by police as she tried to climb through a window. Tonight, we are learning her name, Ashley Babbitt, an Air Force veteran. It is still hard to believe that it was the President of the United States himself who sent this crowd to the Capitol, inciting the day of rage.
We're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength, and you have to be strong.
But Trump did not go with his followers. He went back to the White House to watch the events on television. He had hoped to prevent the inevitable, Congress counting the electoral votes and certifying Joe Biden as winner of the election. At 8 p.m., with smoke still hanging in the air, Congress went back into session, determined to complete the people's business.
Let's get back to work.
Lawmakers clearly shaken. Utah Senator Mitt Romney unsparing as he denounced the chaos as an insurrection incited by the President of the United States.
We gather due to a selfish man's injured pride. The best way we can show respect for the voters who are upset is by telling them the truth.
Lindsey Graham once denounced Trump only to embrace and defend him at every turn. But a violent throng of Trump supporters storming the Capitol was a bridge too far.
All I can say is count me out. Enough is enough. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are lawfully elected and will become the president and the vice president of the United States on January the 20th.
And in the wee hours, Vice President Mike Pence made it official.
The votes for President of the United States are as follows. Joseph R. Biden, Jr. of the state of Delaware has received 306 votes. Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida has received 232 votes.
This playing out well into the night. Martha back with us tonight. And Martha, you were outside all day, and I wanted to show another piece of video from inside that I know you saw as well today. This was from the Senate Parliamentarian's office, just ransacked there, and was really seen throughout the Capitol. And as this was all playing out, we're hearing harrowing accounts now, Martha, members of Congress, their staff, as they were preparing inside for something potentially even worse than what they went through.
They were, David. It's just extraordinary to hear these stories. Dr. Raul Ruiz a congressman from California, but also an emergency room physician, was on the top floor of the gallery with some members. They heard glass breaking. They heard the gunfire. And because of his training, he yelled out at the other members, if a gunman comes in here, first hide, then run. And if all else fails, try to ambush the gunman. Truly horrifying, David.
This was at the U.S. Capitol. All right.